What's up, guys? It is Brent Abel here. God, I almost went webtennis.com again, but I did, and this wasn't planned. I actually did it. No, goldballhunting.com. With my partner in crime here, Mr. Jeff Jacklich from Napa, California. Jeffrey, what's going on? Birthday boy, a day after, by the way.
Yeah. So I'm looking through the lens of 59 now.
Oh, God.
And I got to say, it was a beautiful day. Just a stunner of a day here in the Napa Valley. So far, 59 looks pretty damn good.
Good. All right. Well, so you go in the 60s next year. That's a big fat round number in terms of.
Yeah, and it's always much funner to be the new guy coming in. You
That's
know,
right.
because that always puts everybody on edge.
Yeah.
You know?
By the way, speaking of the 60s, the hard courts were played down here last week, and I ran into your buddy Eric. You know, the guy from New York. Is it Eric? Not Eric Friedman.
Oh, yeah, Eric Friedman.
Yeah, Eric Friedman. And
how do you do?
And he lost to Glenn Busby, who was the number one seed. And you know, it's kind of like, you know, a guy said, yeah, you know, it's started off pretty well. And then what happened? Yeah, well, you know, didn't go so great after that. So anyway, but nice guy, and he said, hey, Brent, how you doing? And I said, I'm doing fine. I said, oh, by the way, Eric, Jeff Jacklich says hello. And he just goes, dang it. So for those of you who don't know the story, listen to the episodes, and I know Jeff has told that story at least once, if not twice, about coming back into the fold of playing tournaments after a while, and 55 hard courts down here at Indian Wells, and you had to play this guy who's, you know, a seasoned guy. He plays all the events. Guy is in unbelievable condition.
Yeah.
And
fitness guy, totally.
Fitness guy, just gym rat, and great player, good player, and you kind of had your way with him that day, which was kind of fun. So that was a few years ago.
2016, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, well, listen. So congratulations on the birthday. Welcome to the 60s a little bit next year. That'll be fun. Can't wait to have you down here for the 60 hard courts next year.
That's right.
And do some damage. So look, guys.
So should I make my reservation now?
What?
I'm making my reservation now for that week. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. So you kind of let's see. What was I? Oh, I know what I want to ask you today. So I've got a question for you, which is kind of baffling, I'm sure, for both of us when we get asked this question. Maybe not for you, but it always is for me. But before we get in the question, guys, Jeff and I are still offering a 10-minute free coaching call. The three of us, it's a private call. All you got to do is make sure that you're on our email list. And if you're not, go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, and you will get immediate access to our online calendar scheduler, where you get to cherry pick your own date and time as when you want to get in the phone with us. And all we really ask on this, Jeff, is, man, if you want to do this, that's awesome. But you got to bring the one thing in your game right now that's just like you're just, you know, rubbing the temples and going, man, I feel like the vice is getting cranked, you know, and I can't figure this thing out. So one thing, bring it to that call, and let's see if Jeff and I can't help put you on the path to getting that thing figured out.
The road to recovery.
Yeah, that's right. We're sort of the detox. God, that's really kind of what we do. Is we detox. We detox tennis games. So guys, that's the way to get in the call. Goldballhunting.com, and you'll get access to the calendar. So, but in the meantime, I got a question for you, Coach.
Yeah.
So someone comes up to you and says, Jeff, man, I haven't seen you for a while, and I really got to get back to the fundamentals. What?
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh there, right?
Well, you did. So how do you, I mean, I kind of know what I say, but what do you say to someone who says, man, I really got to get back to the basics. I got to get back to the fundamentals. What do you say?
After I get my internal laughing under control, right? I look them in the eye and I say, why'd you ever leave?
Well, I guess because I thought that I already had the fundamentals, and now I could go find I could go out and look and hunt and search for the advanced stuff.
The advanced stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
What a
It's like
I think
it's like
there's
a hidden it's hidden out there somewhere under those rocks, and I just
wow.
thought maybe I didn't need to see you anymore. Maybe I didn't do any no more ball machine work, no
Right.
more drilling, no more nothing. Go find the advanced stuff.
Advanced stuff, yeah. It's in a book hidden somewhere in the eastern foothills of Malaysia. It's in a
Is that
cave,
right? Okay.
right? That's what I heard anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that. I mean, you've heard that statement before yourself. I'm sure more times than you can count. And I just think it's baffling to me. And maybe it's not so baffling, but I think what it conjures up is as a whole. Maybe this okay. So maybe this is going in a direction maybe we didn't think about, but as a whole, the tennis industry itself, the teaching industry, the coaching industry, right? But primarily teaching. We're teaching these levels from beginner to advanced and all that. And so are we failing to deliver the message that the fundamentals are things that are always things that you are working on? You are always doing maintenance work, cleanup work, slightly tweaking it work, and just the mind-numbing repetition work of the fundamentals, because that is what is the foundation of everything else you do. And I think maybe there's a missed message going on that when we start to advance a student into something like a specific play, or here's a specific volley technique for this specific situation, because there's lots of those things that happen, when we play, but still, even with that, there's a fundamental framework, body position, athletic, balance, posture that has to be utilized to make those things happen. So maybe we're failing as an industry, that failing to get that message through to the students, that, they become so enticed by the next shiny thing that they're really missing out. Don't waste your time on the shiny thing. Go back and hit another 100 forehands just grooving that feel. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I look back and when I worked with Mr. Stowe, and I said the dumb thing to him. I actually said that to him. I said, "Hey, look, when do we get to the advanced stuff?" And I've shared this story, and he just
Yeah.
it was almost like I think he wanted to go.
So where was the bruise with the racket across when he whacked you with it after that statement?
It was real quick. It was both sides actually. I thought for sure he was going to kick me out. I mean, he just had this look where I think he was looking at the gate and just sort of shaking and trembling. And maybe at that point he was too old to really care enough to kick me out. I'm sure if he was 20 years later, he would have, "God damn it, get out of here," But
Right.
but what I came to believe with him and his emphasis from day one about balance and posture, and that if you didn't have these things, all the stroke all the stroke technique that he eventually wanted to show me wouldn't matter, because if I didn't have posture and balance and the understanding of spacing, then all, I mean, he said, I just can't improvise a forehand for you every time. I mean,
Right.
there could be this is not like some kind of comedy, Chicago's, whatever that Comedy Central thing is,
Right.
where someone's asking you, to improv. You just
Right.
no one's taught to improv in tennis, and
Right.
so what I came to believe is that, so posture, balance are one, and then spacing, and then it's like well, here's the simple swing fundamentals, and once you have that, then it's just like you said, it's about maintenance, and for me it's about how consistent can I be.
Right.
So eventually, to me, the advanced stuff became, look, if you underhand feed me a ball, after a while, knowing what the fundamentals are, knowing the posture, the balance, and the swing, if you underhand feed me, if you lay it in there, I'm pretty good. I'm not bad. But
Right.
once you start jerking me all around the court, then what happens is my mind starts getting away from the fundamentals, and I start thinking all these kind of crazy thoughts. And now I'm putting myself in positions, literally in space and time in relation to the ball, where I've got to improvise. Now everything gets thrown out the window. So I have to go back and I have to continue to drill the fundamentals so that they are consistent.
Right.
They are consistent, because for me, if they're not consistent, then as a shot maker, I can never be consistent. And that's one of the things you and I get all the time is guys are saying, man, I make too many unforced errors. And I kind of try this goofy stuff at the wrong time, and I never really hit it. And it's always, well, the goofy stuff is because geometrically you're choosing to play a shot that's maybe never been hit before.
Right.
I'm just saying.
It is the only tool in your toolbox that hasn't been used in the last 2 years.
Right.
And you're thinking this might be a good time to dust it off, right?
So I don't know. I think it's a good question that you bring up. Are we failing, or is the tennis industry failing students by, number one, not knowing what the fundamentals are?
Yeah.
Secondly,
absolutely.
not teaching them, and not teaching them in a fun way that doesn't get boring, and then insisting that the advanced stuff, the advanced stuff to me is really more about fitness and training and playing and separating yourself from the pack by doing all the extra stuff that you could do.
The advanced stuff is also the stuff that is waiting for you. It's like Christmas. It's waiting for you when you start to get some mastery over the fundamentals. There's this whole, it's a doorway that you can't even see the doorway until you start to oh, okay, now I'm starting to see possibilities. And it's like a door you get to open and you go, oh my gosh, this is amazing that this next level of play is available to me because I spent all this hard work doing this and just doing, what we thought was not the advanced stuff. And I think, like you said, you call it, if you have to improv or compensate, I think, a lot of the improv and compensation, that's a lot of that stuff we see on the highlight reels. It's just pure athleticism at its finest and purest, and it is beautiful stuff to watch without a doubt. But even in that, I'm thinking right now off the top of my head, I think it might have been Australian Open. Might have been the year that Fed won it, right? He won it the last 2 years, not last year, but the 2 years before that in a row. And I think he played Nishikori somewhere along the way there. And Nishikori hit this unbelievable angled shot that took Fed way off the court. And Fed went around the post, but he didn't have to flick it. The ball was so far wide that basically, when you watch him hit it, he lined up and hit his backhand. He just hit it just 2 feet off the ground, perfectly into the corner.
A standard fundamental shot.
But he hit his standard backhand, and I'm watching this just going, oh my God, that's there was no compensation, there was no, improvisation. The only improv was, this is the quickest shot, point A to point B, to get this done.
Right.
And he hits this perfect ball distance into the court, and he's in a place that you never hit a ball from.
Right.
And what struck me as we were talking about this is that shot came to my head is that he hit a perfect backhand. Even in that highlight reel shot, it was perfect. The fundamentals were there, the prep, the placement, the food, the putt. Everything. So I think, I think we're failing to really get the student to understand that the mastery of those fundamentals is what the advanced stuff is based on and all about.
Well, if you boil it down to one word, to me, it's consistency. It's shot. I guess it's a phrase. It's shot making consistency. And I don't care the highlight reels. I don't care the flare on top. I don't care the grip.
Right.
If you can't hit 10 out of 10 with some guy feeding you underhand feeds, what are you doing? What are you thinking?
Right.
If you can't do that, if you can't be a consistent shot maker, and I'm telling you, tennis, if you want to win, if you don't care about winning, If you just want to look like someone out there, then that's a different gig. I don't think gold ball hunting's your meal ticket. You know, there's someone else down the road that'll show you that full Western and the windshield wiper and all that stuff. We're not doing that. We're actually trying to help guys and gals win more matches and keep growing their game and just having more fun. But to me, it's all about consistency. And the only way you get consistent, and that's where the game is fun, I think.
Totally.
Is where you have this confidence. I can hit the ball over the net again. Can I hit a dinger winner every time? Of course not. Nobody can.
Right.
No one's ever done that.
I love seeing my ball land in.
Yes, it's a good
I love
feeling.
that.
And again, and doing it the next time.
Right.
So, all right, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, good stuff. I know you got to scoot. I guess you have another birthday party. You've got to be feted again with
sort of something going on.
All right, good, man. Well, listen, happy birthday to you, Jeff.
Thank you. Thank you.
God, a lot of birthdays yesterday. One of my kids had her birthday. Owen, you know Owen.
Yeah.
One of his kids had a birthday yesterday.
Awesome.
Morgan, who you've met, and some other people. So anyway.
Yeah.
Well, listen, guys, on that, hey, thanks for hanging out with us today here at Gold Ball Hunting. Couple things. First of all, again, a reminder about a free 10-minute coaching call. We want to help you solve whatever that one thing in your game right now is that is just working you, man. Just like, God dang it, stop it. All right, well, Jeff and I are here to help you. Go to goldballhunting.com, first name, email address, and you'll get access to the online scheduler. You get to cherry pick the date and time. This is not about us. This is about you and your schedule, and we will accommodate you. However, this next stuff is about us, Jeffrey. What would we want the fine folks to do right now?
Please like us, share us. Please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below.
Guys, get out there today. And by the way, I just got out there today. I didn't help anyone. I helped myself out there today.
Yeah.
About 85 degrees here, man.
Beautiful.
Sunday afternoon. No one out there on the grass. The balls, the hitting serves and dropping, hitting forehands. And our next topic, by the way, is what I talked about before we started the recording, about racket speed. So.
Yes, racket speed.
Yes, racket speed.
Can't wait.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll do this again tomorrow, Jeff.
Can't wait.